Good morning, Legends Fest. Thank you all for being here and coming out today on this fine morning. Remember to check out our Twitch, Brazosport College Esports. We are live on there right now. But welcome to our first Overwatch match of the day. It is going to be the BC Gators taking on the Tamu Black. And I'm here with Mr. Leapfrog.
Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're enjoying your day. Hope you're ready for some Overwatch.
Oh yeah, time for some Overwatch today. So we're here on Lijiang Tower. How are you feeling about Lijiang?
It's one of my favorite maps. It's a lot of versatility. You can play into it. Plenty of different comps, and you can see already drastically different comps on their approach.
And we see right now from Tamu Black, they're going to be on the Malga. And then the BC Gators Blue are going to be on the Winton.
Right. Gonna play more like a pseudo dive. Just gonna be a really aggressive, straight to the backline, straight to the hearts. Skittles and Jay got their work cut out for him. So let's see how they take this first fight, first map.
Yeah, this Malga might do dividends here against the Winton because Malga is one of those characters that just obliterates the tank. So you already know Malga is gonna hunt down 0B on the Winton. And right now, the Tamu Black taking the fight. Winton and Tracer gone, and there goes Chris on Vendetta.
Yeah, gonna be plenty of damage here, and you can see immediately swapping off the Winston, going straight to the Sigma, just trying to avoid any bit of damage they can. Mitigation is gonna be key going into the next few fights, but you can see, regardless, still gonna be pumping out tons of bullets into it.
Yeah, I think it's a great swap to Sigma. I think playing the Winton into Malga is just hard. So play Sigma into Malga is gonna be a very, very closer matchup for sure. And we saw Chris now off the Vendetta onto main now for the BC Gators Blue.
Ooh, the walls comes out, isolate a single target, but you can see them immediately break it down so they can get him out of the harm's way. You see, fading back into the fight, and again, 0B falls, so now no tank on the side of Gators. It's gonna be a reset once again. There's so much damage being outputted, and you can see they're not even able to run away to their spawn safely without getting shot in the back. But either which way, wow. Nice little reset, and 40% and counting for Tamu.
Yeah, getting Bear right there right before the spawn doors was actually a really nice pick, and I want to say they had great communication on that wall. They broke it instantly when they saw Malgo's walled off. So Tamu Black doing a great job here early on.
Get a match cage fight coming in. Oh, slept out a cage fight. Oh, but it doesn't matter.
Huge high
Orion. Clutch mode right there.
So they're able to get the sleep and the rock off on the Malga before cage fight, and they canceled the ult actually. But the Cassidy for the Tamu Black able to just clutch up there.
And damage has already been done. 70% still for Texas A&M, but they're still trying to their point control. They do have quite a bit of ultimates lined up here when it comes to supports. Potentially, Kitsune Rush coming out early.
Yeah,
you can see him immediately sprinting out.
They're almost at beat. Bear is almost at beat. Sigma ult coming up too for the BC Gators Blue. So they need to try and make something happen.
Yeah, gonna have to make sure you use get rid of that Ana as quickly as you can. Beat comes out from Bear as Bear, but it looks like they might be able to flip it back over unless Aim God decides they want to come in clutch.
Yeah, can Malga win this? I'm not sure, but I think there's a lot of... Oh, and gets the May.
They can't get rid of him.
But finally, at 99, BC Gators Blue take the point and force a reset on Tamu Black.
Got to do a big hill climb, a Siphius level task, one might say, but either which way, looking really solid with the next couple ultimates.
Okay. So now Texas A&M Black here. All they have to do is win one fight, and they will take Lijiang first map.
Oh man, Beat comes out aggressive as well. Jay wants to put the dagger to the heart, and you see Zero not be able to survive. Blizzard comes out as well from Chris. They're trying to isolate targets, but again, with the Suzu cleanse and, you know, Aim God just being unstoppable, being able to sprint out of harm's way, just make things really difficult. The Desperation Nano onto Hikaru, gotta come in clutch right now. They do have access to high news, but not gonna happen.
And map number one, oh man, TP in though from Reaper, able to contest barely in overtime, and that is a good Malga ult right there. Cage fight going out, and Texas A&M Black gonna take first map on Lijiang.
Yeah, one of those things, again, just got to find a way to deal with that Malga. If that Malga is, you know, unkillable, it's going to be impossible for you to get anything done. I mean, their backline is practically untouched as well. So needs to find out a game plan that they can dispose of this Malga safely without losing any of your targets. Because again, they swap over to the Ana to help maybe anti and initiate a fight with a grenade or a sleep dart, but cleanse is kind of like the forefront of Skittles.
Yeah, for sure. And we're actually going to see a Malga swap here from Texas A&M Black onto the Domina, and Zero B also hopping on Orisa.
Another dominant, tank. I like to see the Domina swap occasionally. I'm surprised considering, Aim God's been playing so well on the Malga.
Yeah, maybe they swapped just because they knew they were going to try to do a lot of counters for the Malga and trying to read that maybe. But I like going on this little off angle on Lee Jong here on tower for the BC Gators.
Yeah, don't mind going the white room. Point still has a few more seconds to be unlocked, so even though they relinquish point control just for the time being, they have an opportunity to recontest.
Here coming out, a lot of cooldowns out for Orisa, and Zero Beat's going to go down. All those cooldowns down, and the Texas A&M Black's going to capitalize on that and take advantage.
Yeah, super scared to do it. The moment you try to make an approach on with the Orisa, you can immediately get stunned by the Domina. And, Aim God picking up right where he left off, still playing super aggressive and still playing really aggressive.
So yeah, Texas A&M Black here taking control of Lee Jong on this second map. Ori up 1-0 on Lee Jong. The BC Gators need to find something to work here against Texas A&M Black.
Hey, trying to isolate a target, can't sprint away now, and it finally Aim God falls super early on this fight. Unfortunate, but it's all right. It looks like the damage already been done. Akira lighting up the kill feed, getting 2 picks themselves. Now they just have to go straight to the point, and with no tank to help contest, I don't think they're going to be able to hold it any longer, and 40% will be the cutoff for Texas A&M. They were looking pretty solid, but again, they got to make sure they be really careful how they make their approach. Now that Hazard's on the field, he can be isolated super quickly.
I feel like Hazard's one of those one of those strange swaps, It's like you don't see it much, but when it comes out, you really don't know how to play against it. So I think that's a very good swap here from Zero B.
Kira working on a nano. I can imagine that's probably going to come up during this fight, but also Hikaru, kind of like the star talent. They want to see some more picks from the DPS. Overclock potentially being used. Block comes out again, forced to use Suzu, able to survive for the time being, and Chris unfortunately diving too deep into the back line.
And now this is looking like Texas A&M Black all day. It's just Akira. Akira goes down. Bear resets off the map.
And practically even here. I'm liking what I'm seeing though from the Gators. They're looking pretty quick on adaptations, but again, Overclock going to be the tail of the tape here.
Yeah, great back and forth here on the second map on Lee Jong. And the BC Gators got Nano and Sojourn Railgun coming up. So if they can pair those together and Hikaru can pop off, I think this will be a BC Gators fight.
See Chris trying to force their team back, and you see waiting for cooldowns to load up, because here we go. I can imagine Gibby also going to be hunting for that Death Blossom into the back line. It's going to be crucial for Akira to hit this nasty sleep dart, save their team.
Maybe not, but he doesn't even need the Death Blossom, and they win the fight. And now you just try to get out and reset here.
Yeah, not too costly. They did have to use Kitsune Rush there, but it's one of those things I feel like Kitsune Rush trades off anyways.
And so Kira needs to find a really good nano target here, because they're at 92. Someone's got to touch, and right now they're kind of holding them in their spawn.
Wow, what a turnaround. I mean, we had so many ultimates lined up on the side of Gators, and I think Texas A&M recognized that, and you said, we're going to shut that down right now. We're going to play aggressive, force them into their spawn door, and just capitalize on the initial pickoff. And by that time, percentage was already ticking down, and map number 1 just closes out pretty quickly.
Yeah, they got those early picks, and the BC Gators were just unable to get the ult combos going. And because of those early picks, they were just held up in their spawn after that. And as you can see here from the dominant gameplay.
Now they got to think, long and hard coming into map number 2, because it was very competitive when they're pulling out the Hazard and playing a little bit more towards the back line.
Yeah, so Texas A&M Black going to take 1 up in the series. What do you think the BC Gators need to do differently to play against this Texas A&M Black?
So the main thing, again, they need to start focusing on the back lines, because, again, Aim God has been an oppressive tank this entire series so far, just being the forefront of every single fight, picking targets, isolating them, whether it be just by jumping in or by using a Domina pushback. So if they're going to have a way to open up the supports, they need to play that pseudo dive and play a tank that can really assist with that. All right, map number 2 loaded up and ready.
And here we go with Texas A&M Black taking the first dub in the series. We're going to be here on Midtown. Let's see what the BC Gators Blue can do.
And again, it's only first to 2 out here, so this map is important. This is pretty much the map point for the series. It's all up to Texas A&M to set that tone early. They're attacking to start, so they will be on the left.
Yeah, game point. BC Gators need to look for a dub here to tie up the series. I think what they usually look for is Chris wreaks havoc in the back to have Hikaru get the picks off when they're all jumbled up, but they were unfortunately unable to do that last game. So let's see if they can do that this game.
Yeah, no edges to fall off this time, so hopefully we don't see Chris make that same mistake. But again, pulling out the Echo to start, I feel like it's going to be super imperative to kind of get that burst damage to kind of scare them away from either using some crucial abilities early on in the fight and make Aim God a little bit more disposable in the front line.
We're going to have a dominant mirror matchup here. And also, BC Gators is going to have Satu on the Moira. I think it's going to be great in the back. Try to just annoy the back, force out abilities, of course. But here we go.
Matching the Dominas on the front line as well. Gibby wants to try to isolate targets with the Mei.
And we also got a tank swap from the BC Gators. Bear is now on taking instead of support for this matchup. So we'll see how that fares for the BC Gators Blue.
Yeah, you can see them playing a little bit more cautiously, trying to wait out the wall, and thankfully they do, but now no shield they can work with, so they have to play it patiently just for the time being. Aim God and Bear falling super low, but unfortunately Bear falls first, and it's going to be a reset for the Gators.
Yeah, as soon as you lose your tank, that is the most vital part in 5v5 format. So after that, it's just hard reset and regroup.
You can see Orion covering the flank, not letting Chris giving any room to play with.
And we already know the BC Gators are trying to find that Hikaru magic they always try to do. Hikaru usually is the man of the hour on the team, so they're going to try to find some magic here soon on Midtown.
I want to see the next few shields be a little aggressive, but just when I see that, Bear getting a nice headshot onto the back line. So this is one half of the support line down for Texas A&M. Jay falls, and now it's all on the backs of Skittles. Got to survive here. Just when I say that, Chris tries to take an off angle, not going to be able to survive for too much longer. And has to peel back, but I feel like the damage has been done. Now with no Jay on the field, it's going to be a little bit easier to get those picks.
And there's the Hikaru pick we were looking for all game right here. And BC Gators up, and a nice nade getting the Mei in the tunnel there. Great stuff from the BC Gators. Got a tick down. They might try to recontest. We'll see what they do.
It's going to be tough to do considering they only have the one tank. I mean, Mei is kind of like your pseudo second tank. You want to lay her around the tank so you can kind of tag in and out, considering how committal you have to be with those shields. But either which way, a great start here for the Blue Gators. They finally get that first point, and now they get the payload up and moving.
Yeah, great capture there from BC Gators. Finally making some motion against the Texas A&M Black team.
Yeah, very early Bob coming out from Hikaru. Falls in this fight, and they're going to be all in this room, all in the corner, and Satu smells blood in the water and immediately going to try to capitalize on it, just pouring a lot of resources, both healing and support, into the tanks. But the Blizzard comes out from Gibby to help them survive the onslaught of damage.
Yeah, I love that Satu ult there. You saw them all in that one little hallway, and it really pressured them out. But unfortunately, BC Gators unable to do anything with it, and Texas A&M Black able to hold a good defense there.
I feel bad. I get it. You know, I was salivating too when I saw them all lined up in that corner. You know, it's just a perfect situation for a Moira, but unfortunately not able to find anything. Gibby coming in clutch, and you can see once again they have a ton of ultimates they can use to kind of push the team back.
Yeah, a ton of ults for Texas A&M Black here, but they should try to conserve some. Just try to use 1 or 2 per fight here right now. And we already saw Bear use her ult.
Mackerel. Ult barrage. I mean, all the while they pop those ultimates. Hikaru does get a pick, make it to Orion, getting rid of Chris in the back line. They still committing the nano onto Bear, and they're going to try to make space with the Hikaru double kill, make it a triple. And now it's going to be running for the hills as they get the payload up and running. I mean, a big ultimate commitment from Texas A&M. They used both support ultimates. They used the high noon, and they didn't really get anything off of that.
Yeah, just great clinical stuff there. Great fight for the BC Gators. Now they're on the cart. Let's see if they can keep this momentum happening, because momentum is a huge part of this game too. And let's see if they can catch them right here, kind of by themselves.
Yeah, they need to control this high ground. High ground's going to be imperative, especially the way Hikaru's been playing at the moment. It's just been playing lights out. Overcharge in hand.
Yeah, this high ground here on this midtown part of the map is very crucial. Very crucial to have this control here. And I think I was going to say BC Gators are having it, but Texas A&M Black able to take control and now just getting all the picks they need.
And yeah, gonna be a quick little reset for the blue, but guess what? I'm not too worried about that because they did bait out the Domina ult, so now they come into that with a dry fight. They have Satu Coalescence, they have Overclock from Hikaru, and Duplicate from Chris as well to kind of help mitigate some of that damage if he wants to either duplicate tank or the Mei. So I'd love to see how they make their approach here in this next fight.
Yeah, and I love where they got the cart. The cart is no longer underneath right now, and so it's going to be very easy to push that high ground, and if they can win the fight, get down on cart very quickly and probably cap.
Duplicate in hand. Like I said, I can imagine Chris is going to try to go for the Domina. Mei is also a viable option, but just when I say that, Orion sniping him out of the sky, not going to be a fly zone here. No echo means no fight, and no fight means no return. You're gonna have to run back to the spawn, and now time becoming a factor for BC Gators Blue there. I mean, down to the final minute on this attack.
Yeah, those two massive picks there on the DPS really threw off the BC Gators push there, and that will force a hard reset for the BC Gators. And like you said, 1 minute on the clock. They got to make something happen here. They're looking for a checkpoint for sure, and they need to use some ults.
And like I said, I want to see Chris take an aggressive, attack here. They're going to try to, control this power position. High ground is imperative for their team. I mean, they only have that single hit scan, but Orion's been doing amazing work to kind of keep them back. And now with the Kitsune Rush as well, it's going to be real devastating to push into this hallway.
Yeah, I think this hallway fight is going to be really good for BC Gators. They're about to have 5 ults, and we see the Duplicate coming out on the Domina, and Chris is going to pick off Kiriko in the back, and we got a nano railgun coming out too, I believe.
Goodness gracious, yeah.
And
this is
one. There goes Domina. There goes Cassidy.
Wow.
And Mei picking off Bear, but Hikaru getting 3 there against the Texas A&M Black. Huge fight for Hikaru, and that is what the BC Gators Blue were looking for.
I like it. I'm glad they won the fight, but I mean, look at how many ultimates they committed in that fight, and now it's gonna be an overtime push, and they still nowhere near the checkpoint. They're gonna have to persevere. The Kitsune Rush from Skittles as well, so this is gonna be a tough fight for them, but they can make it happen. Bear does have access to the Domino ult, but it's gotta be perfect from here on out.
Yeah, here in OT, they need to play perfect Overwatch here. You can't afford any mistakes right now, but Ameo, I think, is coming up here, and this might be crucial for them.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. I mean, you use so many ultimates in that one fight in the corner to try to win it. You finally get that position, but you're put in between a rock and a hard spot because now Skittles has a Kitsune Rush. You're forced to play on the objective. You can't play anywhere else during overtime, and the Mei Blizzard as well. Just a cherry on top.
Yeah, you're talking about all the ultimates, and I think they were kind of forced to because of the time on the clock. And sure, if they saved some ults there, it would have been nice for that last fight in OT. But if they didn't use all those ults, I don't know if they would have won that fight. So able to get the cart pushing up a little bit more might have been vital for the BC Gators Blue.
Yeah, still win condition for the team, 99 meters and counting, so just shy of 100. So 100 is going to be the winning mark for the series. Texas A&M in a pretty good spot. Orion's been kind of playing lights out right now.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if we see any swaps, and already we see a Reinhardt. And if you know anything about me, I love a good Reinhardt.
Yeah, the size of your smile grew exponentially the moment I saw Reinhardt swinging the hammer around.
So Texas A&M Black already have my heart for this fight.
Satu opting for the swap off the Moira over to the Mizuki.
But they're going to be playing into a Ram, which is the counter for Reinhardt theoretically on paper, right? But Texas A&M Black have been able to make it work. So,
all right, let's see if we can make it happen. Let's see if we can keep this series alive, or Texas A&M Black going to be able to close it out with a swift 2-0.
And we have the speed for Reinhardt. That's vital to make Reinhardt work. The speed from Lucio is going to be the name of the game for Texas A&M Black here.
Yeah, not a lot of healing you can output as well when you're running the Kiriko Lucio. I mean, obviously you have the Suzu to kind of keep your team alive, but I don't think they're worried about healing. They're worried about just running down the opposition and doing it quickly. But let's see if they can make it happen. Maybe potentially setting up the high ground. No, gonna swap down to the low ground, isolate the target.
And now going around town, I like this right here. Play with the Reinhardt. Try to get up close in their face if you can. The Ram's really weak. I don't think they forced out Nemesis for him yet. And Reinhardt gets a pin on Chris. And Orion gets Satu. Bear does get the Reinhardt, but will it
He can
matter?
survive here. It's not a big deal, right? Because you do still have Akira still locked and loaded. But again, when Satu falls, that's not your base healing. The base healing is going to come mainly, primarily from the Akira Ana. And now that's going to be a big turnaround for them. And Chris opting to swap over to the Bastion. And Satu also recognizing maybe the Mizuki ain't working, back over to the tried and true.
Yeah, so now we're full counter into Reinhardt here. He already died the first fight, so it's going to be even more hard to make Reinhardt work now with the Ram and the Bastion. But we'll see if they can make some magic happen.
Ooh, this is a big pick here. Gibby getting rid of Satu, so bulk of the healing gone as well. But again, Kira hasn't been really touched all too much, and that's kind of what you have to deal with when you're playing this Reinhardt. This brawl comp in the front line is the primary focus. Making the drop down, making the commitment. Oh, and Chris falls, so now a bulk of their damage is gone as well.
And now Reinhardt just swinging for the fences here on the Ram, but that block is just so strong, mitigating all the damage from those swings. But the pin coming in, picking off Bear, and now this is Texas A&M Black's fight to win.
Yeah, and that was a great call from AimGod, because it's one of those things he didn't want to give a chance to Gator Blue to actually get back into the fight. Akira did have access to the Nano, so I mean that could have been a recontest for them. So real smart awareness in them, just making a full commitment into the back line. Orion narrowly making it out there with their life.
Yeah, almost losing that one to the Moira, and Moira is one of those dangerous. Oh, and trying to solo shot of the Moira, but I think the May walled it off.
Such is the life of a Reinhardt, man.
I mean, you got to feel for Reinhardt, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see a swap here. But, you know, you got to feel for the Reinhardt, man. You got to feel for him.
It happens all the time, so I think it's one of those things. That's why he just pinned straight to the back line and said, you know what, to hell with it. We're just going to go right in.
But, hey, I'm not seeing a swap here, so I respect staying on it, you know? This is going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, and right now, you know, if I'm the Gators Blue, I want to make sure I control this high ground, but I also want to have somebody actually contest the payload, because if it goes underneath the bridge, now you're just giving them free payload presence.
And Gibby picking off Chris now, and like you said, there's no one underneath. They're all playing high ground right now, and they're down one, so they really need to get on card. But Akaru getting Sojourn now, and onto the Lucio, but a pin getting Bear.
Oh, the beat comes out. Kitsune rushes well. They know this is a win.
A lot of ults.
This is going to be a win situation for them, so they're just going to commit everything onto the fight. Nano onto the Moira, just trying desperately to survive as much as they can. Coalescence already being used, but Hikaru coming in clutch. 2 picks, trying to survive the onslaught. They have to deal with the May shield. The Reinhardt dashing in their face, and Orion popping the overclock just to be able to help turn things around. Annihilation in hand from Bear. All they have to do is just hold block on sight. Gibby might fall.
All he has to do is stall right now. 4.5 meters away from winning the game is Texas A&M Black. Can they get the job done?
Bear's doing a great job surviving the onslaught right now. Finally getting walled off in the healing. They're still making the contest. Hikaru onto the Tracer. Chris coming back onto the fight with the artillery strike, but I don't think it's going to matter all too much. Reinhardt pinning off the opposition, bleeding out the fight, and you know what? Shatter still coming down despite all the targets dead, and that's going to be a clean 2-0 win for Texas A&M Black.
I mean, BC Gators Blue put up a good fight there. They were starting to feel themselves there towards that second round on Midtown. But Texas A&M Black able to push through all those counter swaps from the Bastion and the Ram, and makes Reinhardt work on Midtown.
A big pendulum swing for Texas A&M. You can see once they recognize, like, they smell blood in the water and like a shark to it, they immediately started attacking. You see Gators really frustrated with themselves. They thought they could turn that around, but luckily, you know, Orion came back just in the nick of time.
And I think Gators Blue were starting to get that Hikaru working, because we saw Hikaru get a lot of massive picks, but the team was just unable to capitalize around that. So hopefully going forward now, I think they'll have more. What's the word I'm looking for?
Experience.
Yes, something like that. I think they're looking good for the future.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about it. It's round robin, so they have another opportunity. So let's see if they can bring it back later on in our round robin set. So we'll take a little break, and we'll come back with some more Overwatch.